sure that I'm in the right place. It's Sunday, 5:30. Trying a new place. Not quite sure if I'm in the right place. It's near the Aniene. I'm not sure if I'm in the right place. I think that behind this, there should be the park. Okay, I'm having a lot of trouble with the gear. And vision. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, alright. I think I'm okay. Okay, here we are. 17th of June. Today's the 18th. This is Parco dell'Aniene. And there actually is some information over there. I am in shorts today. Shorts and a shirt, a t-shirt. It's probably at least 20 degrees. Okay, so here we are. We have a trail. Okay. Information. Yeah. Deforestation. Something like that. Geological time. I don't know if you can see this, but it's quite a long way. There's a lot of park here. I don't know how much we're going to walk today, but here's the trail, and off we go. I think I want to go down there. Looks like it's cut, yeah. It's humid still, damp, wet. I'm in a little bit of a hurry today because we want to go to the beach. The forestation, not deforestation. So they're putting up trees. There's a little bit of a mist because we are very near the water. The Aniene is just winds, as you saw on the map, winds its way through there. And yeah, I think we better take this way. A little better. This goes back. It's nice. And the castle. The house of the park. Chi è? Chi è? So, I'm distracted by many things and I'm just not able to give the manual time. I'm still spending a lot of time with my thoughts for this project. This next video, I posted the second video about the surface yesterday, and I think that I'll start this these are gardens. See, gardening together. I think that the next one will be called Design. And I have a clip prepared that demonstrates how to use the computer for the design. This is really beautiful. I'm using a painting by Antonello da Messina, the Ecce Homo painting, for a typical bust, a portrait, so to speak. Just a face and part of the neck and chest. I wonder where that goes. I want to go back. Let's see where this goes. This goes up the hill. I want to go down, I think. This is too close to... here's a turn, but it goes into this person's... yeah, I think this is a road that I want to go down. Now, this is the... Andiamo. Yeah, I want to go down. Don't want to go up. So I'll use this video clip as a central part of the entire story. There's an old washing well. The explanation will build on the idea of geometry and the idea of nature giving certain geometry, and I'll just maybe do some very short videos showing how nature inhabits this idea of geometry, how nature uses geometry to structure itself. And that is, I think, the main idea of the video is that there is still a element of geometry, and the geometry I demonstrate in the head and I use for the composition. So here we have some other considerations of geometry. You know, just everything is, this is broken, but it's for, you have, you can see it here better. You could count how many, 6 here. There's just, we're surrounded by this geometry. You know, why does this part explode, then this part explode, and then this part explode, and then this part, and then this part, and this part. And you'll see that they get this part and this part and this part. They get smaller each time, and that's a mathematical formula. You could measure it and probably see that there's something, you know, magical about it. A square 2 or a square 3 or a square 4. And that structure, which is built on geometry, gives the visual element of beauty. So we have beauty that is in nature, beauty that surrounds us. All we have to do is notice it, and then we can also profit by using it in building. And this is where the idea of art that is related to nature through the use of the same magic, the geometry. And the geometry, you know, you can go into a further step, and after you have geometrized, after you've done so much of that, there is an innate ability, even when you are improvising, to give the structure those harmonious elements that are based on numbers. This is what happens with jazz, with improvised jazz. And I think that artists, they wanted to try to do this at the same time period, but you know, those jazz musicians, people like John Coltrane were like monsters of practicing the scales, really understanding completely the underlying harmonies that are there. So they were able to sort of invent their own. It's not really inventing their own, but it's that it became so second nature to them, creating those harmonies, that they could just go off and do what they wanted to do. And it all came out beautifully. Now, I was saying about the artist, and on the other hand, the artist, if you think about people like Jackson Pollock, they say, oh, great artist of improvisation, but Jackson Pollock was not a master of geometry. See, they approached it completely in the art as, well, if I just do it, it'll come out, and people kind of fed into that. They said, oh yes, look, there is. But it wasn't really the same thing, because anybody could take the paint and drip it around, but not anybody could take the saxophone and play it like John Coltrane. That's a big difference. So the numbers are important, even in the design. They like provide the structure. So I want to show the proportion of the face. I want to compose using a numerical scheme. This is actually where I wanted to park up there, but no problem. Sorry, I got some allergies. It might be a little hard to understand me. Also, my throat's a little raspy. Eyes are watering too. Numbers. Man can look at nature and draw from nature. In fact, it might be an appropriate name to call this drawing, because draw has a double meaning. The first meaning, of course, is to draw with a pencil, so you're drawing, but it also means to pull out or pull up, drawing water from the well. Drawing, yeah, that might be an appropriate name, and I could talk about that. So what is happening? Composing a picture. Composing a picture, you're taking the totality of the space, the dimension, and breaking it down. Oh, there's a house there. Breaking it down into smaller elements. I thought we were getting near the river, but it looks like we're actually getting into houses. Let's go back. This is a more residential area. Well, it would be damp in a house like that, but probably nice. So these little elements, you're beginning the trail of completing this painting, and you have to decide, where the pieces are going. There has always been, especially during the Renaissance, but even if you go back to the Roman paintings, elements of decision based on geometry. And so the whole of the painting is broken up into pieces. Those decisions could be made along a series of lines. You could say guiding lines. If you take a paper and you fold it in half from both sides, you make 4 quarters. And inevitably, whatever you're folding, those 4 quarters are going to have a harmonious relationship with the whole. I don't know what it is exactly, what number it is. I could probably do a little video about that. So the lines, the guiding lines, don't have to be at the middle. You can find other relationships. You can find golden measures. If possible. Wherever you have one, you can make the golden measure. And this is what I was saying before about if the artist works with this golden measure, and works, start to see it in nature, start to see this spiral, or start to see, the progression, the Fibonacci progression, and that becomes to the artist's decision making. He knows to put something exactly that distance, and it will be that measure. So the artist is once again coming closer to God, coming closer to nature, and discovering again through that surface those innate beautiful harmonies through the composition. That's the important point here. The discovering of the structures, of the inner structures. That's in the Kabbalah, it's very, very intense. Those structures, those worlds, the world of Atman, there's the world of Bina. There's all of this, division, and each division is given a name, and different worlds, Sephirat, and the names and the meanings of the names has to be 10. There's a lot of things that describe this structure, and it's described in a very cold way. This is the way it works. It's just set up this way, and man, or humanity, I don't know what you want to call us, but we have this mission to discover this for ourselves. The problem is that we tend to be interested in our own structures. And just like Jackson Pollock, randomly dripping oil, paint, or latex, or whatever he used on a canvas, we're randomly running from one thing to another in an attempt to kind of fulfill that emptiness that we don't really know how to fill. We have a model, and in spirituality that model is very precise according to this tradition. The tradition of Kabbalah. This may go down to the water. I just want to see the water. Actually, I hear dogs. Yeah, here it is. Here's the Aniene. I don't know if you can see much. So the Kabbalist spends an enormous amount of energy and time and effort trying to unblock those structures. And the artist, too, should explore this dimension as much as possible. Because it's a very important step. I think that we are up there. Okay, we'll just go around. It's work. It's work because the idea of being spontaneous and just throwing things onto the surface, coming up with a kind of improvised idea of composition, you could do that, but I would suggest that the artist explores this, looks at different examples, tries to imitate what history has given examples that we see in history. And in your own exploration, try symmetrical compositions. Try asymmetry based on some kind of number. The circle has incredible properties to it. Pi, the diameter, circumference, explore those. If you're using a circular element, how big should that be? What is the rapport between the circle and the outside dimensions? Just publicity. Lifegate. Villa Romana. Yeah, there's a lot to see here. I could study it and come back. But enough for today. So I'm working on the dimension of the face. And the face has different compositional properties depending on different people's canons. I'm going to use a simple canon, the division of the circle into 3, and then using the points of the face to guide the composition. So you have the line of the eyes, the line of the nose, the line of the chin, and those lines where they intersect the outside dimension of the painting, the 24 by 30 imposition, I'm connecting those points. So I'm actually revealing a harmony between the outside dimension and the dimension of the face. It's not arbitrary, although the artist works with this. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you're wet. Huh? Who is that? Kid. So this is what I wanted to talk about. I think I'll turn the video off.